What should I order? I'm only answering this because you're Josh, by the way. Where are you ordering from?
Repeat.
Ice cream, man.
Mistakes.
I don't know. You could order whatever you want. Well, I don't understand. Like, the problem is, here's the thing. I don't want to answer because it opens up a whole can of worms, but maybe that's what I should do because it's a banter game to begin with, okay? My preferred ice cream now is salted caramel, but because of the anti-intellectualism that, like, runs rampant in the world these days, if you don't say, like, one of the original, like, mother flavors, if you don't say, like, vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, rum, raisin, butterscotch, cookie dough, or something like that, people are like, oh, salted caramel. I know they all come from the same factory, but whoa, this guy takes himself really seriously, and then I gotta, like, defend myself. And then on top of that, we gotta be like, okay, does the ice cream man even have salted caramel? Oh, this is, it's a purple state. I don't think he's gonna have salted caramel. At best, he might have, you know, mint chocolate chip. And now I look like I'm an out of touch, like, coastal elite because I suggested a flavor that hasn't made it over into Pittsburgh yet. I'm suggesting, you know, Pacific Northwest flavors to somebody who lives in the mid-Atlantic? Atlantic? What would you call Pittsburgh? I don't think it's the Rust Belt, respectfully. Mid-Atlantic? I thought Mid-Atlantic was like Virginia. It is the Rust Belt. But Pittsburgh's like not rusted, right? Like when I was there, it looked like they were doing pretty well. I mean, it's not Ohio. Here we go with the Ohio slander. Their number one industry is steel? Yeah, steel doesn't rust, right? Iron rusts. That's why there's stainless steel, but there's no stainless iron. Steel is made of what? Trick question. Steel is an element. Steel is made of steel atoms. What's its atomic number? 69420. 80085. True. All right, lucky guess. Please acknowledge steel is not on the periodic table of atoms. I get it. You're in 11th grade. Your identity is tied up with the fact that you have the third highest mark in your science class. I'm aware that steel is not on the periodic table. I was trying to do something more complicated than regurgitating knowledge that my 10th grade science teacher imparted upon me against their will. I was trying to be creative and make a joke and make people laugh. Which is more than Mendeleev has ever done for anybody. That's too close? You're insulting my intelligence by suggesting I don't know that steel is an alloy made of iron and then another thing that's probably not even relevant to life on Earth. Did you know it's carbon? Yes, I know it's the only thing relevant to life on Earth, okay? That's the joke, Mendeleev! You're really gonna let me get you twice in a row?
Sometimes.
Name a biologist. Richard Dawkins. Oh, fuck. Carolus Linnaeus. Charles Darwin had the balls to ask. Yeah. It's harder to name a biologist than it is to name a physicist, because most biologists, you know, had to leave their academic field in order to make a living in private industry. Whereas physicists, lucky for them, are predominantly supported by the government. I'm sorry, it's true. And Christopher Nolan, I'm sure. And Christopher Nolan. They do cooler shit. It's true, but like, listen, some of that space stuff is like, it's not relevant, man. You ever think about how, like, the last time we did anything in outer space? Wait a minute, let me think about this carefully. The last time we walked on the moon as a species was, like, probably in the early 1970s or something like that. We've learned so much more about the universe since then, but we're too scared to use it, man. We're too scared to use it. Oh, fuck. It's a sad story. You'd think the more we learned about it, the more we'd be like, yo, let's go. Ice crystals on the moon. Get me up there. I want to see that. But instead, it's like, maybe the Mathises of the world are onto something. The more we learn about outer space, the more the government is like, we don't need to go up there. Don't worry about it, guys. We don't need to go up there. Just a bunch of forklift certified aliens. Maybe your ass should be volunteering. Are you kidding me? It's not like they ran out of recruits to go to the moon. They hire like 6 astronauts a decade. They get probably like 100,000 applications. Like, they're not just taking any geek off the street. You got to be like a fighter jet pilot in the Air Force who also has like 2 PhDs in physics and astrobiology and also has like a 7% body fat and competed in the Commonwealth Games in shot put or something like that. And they're like, well, his extracurriculars aren't that good, but I guess he could learn on the job. Like, you got to be like the perfect human being. Plus, you got to be shorter than the guy who paid for the mission, which like even further reduces the potential talent pool. Yo, I'm in. They would not let you take the Peloton up there. But that's okay, because the space shuttle has that little, like, cantilever that spins around, right? So you can just run, you can run in place, and the ship itself is a treadmill. Dude, what if, like, the last astronauts that went to the moon left, like, a fat turd on the moon? Like, they were like, oh, I really don't want to poop on the moon, but I gotta poop so bad. I'm sorry, guys, I'm sorry, but I can't hold it till I get back up in the lander and then back up into the ship. And then the dude, when he got back to Earth, he's like, yeah, I'm a hero. Yeah, I'm a hero. But in his head, he's like, oh, fuck. As soon as they go back, they're gonna see that shit on the moon, and I'm gonna be fucking fired. But then they never went back, and he's just been living in, like, anxiety since then. Like, he's gonna have, like, a confession on his deathbed. I shat on the moon. And people are going to be like, I never had any proof, but I always got a bad vibe from him. Nice to finally have it confirmed. Oh, you can't shit on the moon because if you pull your spacesuit down, it would pull your whole body out through your asshole. Okay, it's a joke, all right? Mendeleev. All right, Pythagoras, sorry. Hey, librarian, thanks for the gifted subscriptions. That's the capstone to a good bit. Where'd the inspiration for this bit come from? Well, in my head, I was like, the first thing I thought of was I bet the astronauts who landed on the moon in 1972 were like, you know, we could leave something here for the next guys to pick up. But then I thought, wouldn't it be funnier if they left like a turd? And then the rest is history. That's VH1's Behind the Music. I'm going to be honest also, like, I know that, was it on Gemini that they inscribed like that gold plate and it's got like the 4 nucleotide bases of the human genome and like the number of chromosome pairs we've got. That's on Voyager. You know, you got to imagine at some point, like, an alien is gonna find that record and is gonna look at it and go, "What the fuck is this?" You're right. Ain't no alien gonna understand that record, man. They might be able to figure out where it came from. They're going to come, it's going to be like an escape room. They're going to ring the bell and be like, hey, we tried to decipher the plate, but like we added like all the numbers together and then divided it by like the Fibonacci sequence, but it just spit out gibberish. Like, what is the, and then, oh yeah, oh, we have, that's the number of pairs of chromosomes that we have. And they're going to be like, really? We've never even met your asses until now. How are we supposed to get that? We were supposed to get that in an hour? I remember my uncle is kind of like, he's kind of like a Mathis guy. I remember talking to him when I was like 13. And I was like, if we ever made contact with aliens, how would we communicate? Because obviously we don't have like a shared language or maybe even like a shared medium of communication. You know, like they might not have ears, you know, or eyes, or what they might communicate via things that we can't even imagine. And he was like, there's ways that we can do it. And I was like, what ways? And he was like, well, there's things that are like constant in the universe, you know, like the number of protons in a hydrogen atom or something like that. And I was like, but how are you going to communicate that it's... I think that he's right. Like, they got smarter people working on this than me. But I'm like, what are you just gonna put like a a one somewhere, like a singular object, and you're gonna be like, get it? The alien's gonna be like, they're in their head, they're saying, get it? I don't know. I'm glad I'm not in charge of it. Let's just put it that way. Because I feel like I would just be like, hello, and then the alien would go like, and I would be like, hey, hello. What I wouldn't realize, this is the ironic part, is that the alien is also saying hello. But they're saying it in their alien language. And I'm like, buddy, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. What if the aliens invade us and they take the world hostage and their only demand is that, like, because they've been watching all of our television for like 100 years, and their only demand is that Netflix makes a second season of Archive 81. That's from Futurama. Okay, well, apparently that's from Futurama. I'd like to apologize. What if aliens observed humanity for the first time, and then they immediately started traveling to Earth? But the twist is that they observed humanity 3,000 years ago, like in the Roman times. So when they show up, they're all like, aloha, companis. And we're like, what the fuck? And they're wearing like tunics and togas and shit. Ave. That's the same Futurama bit? Really?
Oh, I'm still scared of him.
Yo, Matt Groening, kind of the goat for real, huh? Then they arrive and they're like, take me to Marcus Aurelius. And you're like, oh. Oh, awkward. Your thoughts on the turd left on the moon in the 1970s? I think I live by the principle that when people tell me they gotta go, I believe that that is like their last resort. They would rather not tell me that they have to go. So if I was on the moon and I was like the captain and my flight officer was like, Captain, I've really got to dump a turd on the moon, I would be like, I trust you. We're a team. We've been training together for years. Go ahead. Blow some ass on the moon. Dump it. I'm not going to besmirch your character by assuming you're taking a poop on the moon for leisure. Like, I don't think it's the most convenient place to take a poop. I don't think you're just doing it because you're bored. I think maybe you had too much of the moon cheese or something like that. Swedish Aladdin. I can show you the fjords. Colt Boulard with lingonberries. Henrik Daniel Sundin Elias Pettersson. Matt Sundin, A Whole New World. Sorry.